So go ahead, Mel.
Um, yeah, I agree with certain players, but so the people who I feel like is for the pressure to win a ring, uh, I'm gonna say definitely Shea for sure. I think that Shea has to do something this year, and because of where they at, like record wise, there's pressure to make some sort of impact. And I will say the same for the Cavs with Spider Mitchell. We forget about him. He's had great player performances. Cleveland has surprised everyone with their run this season. So winning a ring would be dope, but I know it's like you got to do something, right? So I feel like it's pressure for him and Shea to do something. Um, but I do agree, like Harden, as far as pressure, because he's the vet, and like Taz was saying, all these chances. See, if Westbrook was a more prominent player, he would be in it as well, too. But I think because Westbrook's role is so reduced that we're not even looking at Westbrook anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say probably Harden. If I had to name five, I'm gonna put Shea, Spider, Harden. Um, yeah, Westbrook is not. He's out, man. He's out. I'm trying to think, man.
So
I
I
mean,
gotta disagree with that. I gotta disagree with what Sajero just said. He said there's no pressure on Sha. It is immense pressure on that boy. It's immense. He's the MVP.
yeah, I mean, when you were number
Best
one
rec.
seed, and you MVP, like it was like for example, on another level, when in 2001, right? We use the Iverson example. He won the MVP and all of that. If they would have lost to Indiana or anybody, it would have looked bad with you winning MVP and number one record. It just doesn't look good. You know what I'm saying? So it's not to say that it ain't no pressure. He's young, so he might have more chances to do something. But if you're gonna be MVP and on a roll like they are, you gotta do something. And that's why I
Yeah.
said the same thing for Spider Mitchell and the Cavs. You gotta do something. You can't just, I'm winning 60, and because I wasn't expected to do the XYZ, I'm good. They
Mm-hmm.
don't you a number one team. It's the same it's in any sport. The Ravens, when they lost to the Mahomes and them last year with the best record, it's like, nobody wants to hear, you're not. It's like, you came up short. So I think it goes hand in hand with winning. The expectations, it goes hand in hand. If you have a great season, then you gotta do something in the playoffs. It don't work like that. And if you come up short, then it's bad.
My
So that's why.
mm,
But
no, go ahead,
no,
bro.
so that's just how I feel. I'm
Mm,
gonna agree with Taz as far as Harden because of he's the vet. But I do agree that we need to see something from Shea and Spider,
mm,
something in the cab. We gotta see something. Like
mm,
if both of those teams ain't in the conference finals,
mm.
it's a problem. Um,
So my last
mhm,
2 cents with this is when you say, okay, this person is under pressure, right? You typically look at the best player, the star, the superstar of the team, right? You
mhm,
typically gotta look at that. So you look at all the superstars, like it was pressure on LeBron to win one ring, right?
yeah,
Because of just who he was as a player, MVP, who he was coming in as the number one pick, the king, right? So it was so much pressure on LeBron, not only to do well, but at least get one ring, right? So once he
yeah,
won that one ring, that pressure went away, right? Same for like Dwayne Wade. It was pressure for him to take that team, Miami team, got him in the playoffs. It was pressure on him because he was such I won't say it was that much pressure, but it
yeah,
was pressure because he was the man. Yo, all right, you got to go ahead and win this. You got to win one. I think the pressure is on these superstar players, MVP players, and if you got to win, you can't be an MVP, have the best record in the league, and get out of here in the first round or even the second round. You can't be. That's why
yeah,
there was so much pressure on Tatum to win before he won it because Tatum, even though he was an MVP, but that was that guy. Tatum is he the face of the league. You know, he's one of the top 10 players in the NBA. He keeps getting to the conference finals. He can't win it. Can he win a championship? He won one, took the pressure off of him. So if we look at Spider Mitchell, there's no pressure on him. right? I don't, in my 2 cents,
I'm
there's no pressure on him. Yeah, sure, Cavs got a great record, but is there pressure on him to win a chip? No.
I'm not.
Nobody's talking about Cavs, yo, you gotta win, you know?
Yeah,
So,
it's not about people not talking about him. It's being real. It's the same metric that we saying about Shea. Shea gonna win MVP, but the Cavs #1 record. Spider Mitchell is a veteran All Star, so it's like for Spider, you winning it does a lot for him. So I'm not saying like it may not be pressure as far as expected pressure, but you put yourself in position by winning. So now you must do something. That's how I'm saying. You must do something.
yeah.
If you in that role. You know what I'm
feel like he's in the
saying?
same position that Tatum was in. He's in the same
Yeah.
position that Tatum was
Yeah,
in.
you
Uh,
gotta do
is
something.
he?
You can't I'm
I
saying
mean,
just
he
as far as like
wasn't
winning,
born and raised with the team, but when having the best record and being the absolute star of the team, carrying the team, and like with that, if you factor in that, man, they got what they were the best team in the league up until March, probably, bro. Best record
yeah,
in the league up until March. So I don't think he got a ton of pressure. I don't think Spider
yeah.
got a ton of pressure, but he does have some pressure on proving that this team is what this team is supposed to be. You know,
Yeah,
like they got
absolutely.
Because
they got to get to the finals the way they've been playing and the way they've been moving. Like that, the pressure is to get at least go to game 7 minimum in the Eastern Conference Finals, bro. That's the pressure that he got, bro.
Yeah,
If not, then this is a complete fluke season. Complete
yeah.
Because I
fluke.
mean, when you look at pressure, right? Pressure is like who got the most spotlights on them, right? Who got the most lights on them? That's when you
And
know
I agree with that part.
it's
Yeah,
pressure. Spider
yeah.
don't have that. This is the first season that Spider had lights on him because of their Cavs record.
Okay.
Prior to that,
That's
nobody was
that's
talking about
fair.
Spider Mitchell.
That's
You know what I'm
fair. So
saying?
if we saying that, then Draymond Green gotta be in this because he guaranteed a title for Golden State.
He guaranteed a title every other year too. Right?
All right, I
Fuck
mean,
Draymond Green. What's it Gerald said? Here's a great name the top 5 guys of the championship. Huh? Name the top 5 guys of the championship would do the most for their career and why. That's a good question.
which one?
Harden will solidify him as a number 3 shooting guard of
Yeah,
all
yeah.
time, bro.
Draymond got 4 already. Ain't no pressure on Draymond.
I'm
he
talking about
just be
because of
talking
his
shit.
guarantee, man. But but yeah, what Taz was saying about Harden, yeah, I agree with that. Him winning a ring was I mean, would
I
I mean
I put
he'll
him
never
over
be.
Wade, bro.
Hold on, wait. So you say he's over Allen Iverson already?
Who?
If he wins a ring,
No,
yes.
Who?
no, I'm saying right now, Harden.
Right now, is he over
You,
AR?
you said wait, like you ain't
Yeah.
mentioned Allen
Not
Iverson.
yet. Right now, over AR, you put their careers neck and neck, bro. You you throw everything, you put everything together. Don't get out AR. That's our era growing up, bro. This is what we saw on TV and who influenced our while our brains were still growing. We was watching AR. But while we know things now, Mel, you gotta be what's the name, bro. AR was that guy, but
If
Harden
Harden
wasn't
wins
over
a
the
ring, I'll put him over AI.
I would too, bro. I would too.
If James Harden wins a ring, I mean, I mean, next question,
He said,
man.
my son, my son is,
I ain't
hey,
gonna
listen, I'm
lie.
not trying to disrespect
I ain't
the
gonna lie.
veteran, bro.
I ain't gonna lie. It would be hard. I would be here like, yo, somebody have a gun to me, like, yo, listen, you got the ring. I'll be sitting here like, yo, chill, man. Yo, chill. Yo, look at Sejero feeding.
Yep.
Sejero,
If James
chill.
win a ring, yep, he jumps AI if he win a ring.
Uh-huh.
Jero,
100%, bro.
chill, man.
100%,
Chill.
bro.
Chill.
100%.
Let me be. Let me
100%, bro.
I keep it a buck though. I keep it a buck though. All jokes aside, all jokes aside. If he did get a ring, yeah, I would. Yeah. All jokes
But that's a
aside.
big ass F, though. Big
Yeah.
ass F.
If he did
Big
though,
ass
I would
F,
have I
bro.
would have to give it up. I would have to give it up. I would have to give
Clippers
it up.
still my pick though. Clippers in LA, my 2 teams out the West.
Yeah. 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 That is gonna be interesting. I will say this playoffs, whoever wins, even if the Lakers win and Luka gets his first ring,
Uh-huh.
or there's like it's so many different storylines that it makes for great playoffs. I am actually looking forward
Yeah.
to it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Y'all
yeah,
feel like
Jared
Cat
said
got
if
pressure
Kawhi
on
wins
him?
another ring, he bolts into the top 20
Bro,
immediately.
No
I,
way.
Yeah, top 20, nah.
Nah.
Top 20 to zero.
Top,
Top
top 20?
20.
Nah.
I'm not
Yo,
gonna lie, bro. He
to
might
zero.
have.
Put the Hennessy down. Put the
He
Hennessy
might be
down.
spitting,
Put it down.
bro. He
Matter of
might be
fact,
And
spitting.
I like
and if you got
Sajero. He got great takes.
nah,
He talks with such poise.
nah, nah,
It's,
nah.
it's such
My
etiquette.
Sajero definitely. But Sajero,
But
listen.
Sajero,
If you got the
not
Hennessy,
top 20.
right?
No, no, no,
If you
no.
got the Hennessy, right? You must be drinking it straight. So pour some water or some shit in it. Dilute it, because you're bugging right now. Top 20, you are bugging. I don't care if he had 4 rings, top 20. You gotta understand, right? Top 20, you gotta understand who's he taking out of top 20?
Yeah.
Yeah, son. Yeah, he took the son. Stay off the weed. Yo, Sajero, top 20?
They can take
Are
out
you
Dr.
serious?
J, bro. They can take out
Nigga
Dr.
said that.
J. Take Dr. J out and put Kawhi in, bro. I
He takes
believe.
out Barkley.
Nah, he don't take out.
Sajero,
Nah, you wildin', bro. You
Sajero,
wildin',
listen.
Hold on.
I know you don't like
Larry.
Charles Barkley,
You
but you're
wildin'.
bugging.
Wait, hold on.
I was agreeing.
Let
I
the
was
man
agreeing with
defend
him until you
himself.
said Barkley, bro.
Let the man defend himself. Hold on. Let me get the
I
boxing
was a
gloves.
hundred. I was
let
100% agreeing until you said
let
Barkley,
let the
bro.
man defend
Yo,
himself.
I got a box on you now, son. What? Yo, Taz,
Yo,
you know how we used to do it, Ehor. Taz,
hold up,
I gotta
hold
get
up,
him right
hold up,
now.
hold up.
Taz, I'm gonna
Let the
get him right now.
Fix him
yo.
up real quick, man.
I gotta
Fix him
let the
up
Taz,
real
man
I'm
quick.
about
defend
to,
himself, man.
Taz, you
Nah,
know,
bro.
I'm about to get him real quick. I'm about to get
Taking out
him.
Barkley is tweaking, bro.
Taz,
All right.
yo,
So
bro.
let me say my piece on this.
Yeah, say your piece so I can attack you, man.
All right.
Let's go.
The only thing Kawhi Leonard's missing, right, is just like the games played in the regular season, right? And we know why. It's injuries, right? It ain't because he don't produce, right? Because whenever he's healthy, he's really one of them ones. Low key, when he's healthy, he might be the second best small forward after LeBron. Because he be
When
doing
he's
more than
healthy.
KD, right? So if he was to take the Clippers to the chip and win it, what more do we need to see? At that
I
point, we just simply know,
I
damn.
agree.
The
I
only
agree with
thing,
him
the
being top
Yo,
only,
20.
the only thing holding that man back is injury. It's not play. So I'm putting him ahead of
yo,
mad people.
yo,
3 rings with
hold
3 different
on.
teams. The Clippers
Yo,
and
I
come out,
gotta beat him.
come out. The Clippers and Raptors. That man
Yo,
goes to top 20.
hold
Period.
on.
The
Yo,
Clippers,
The
yo,
and this
the
is not even
Raptors championship was a what if though.
and but he won it. And
He did.
yo,
this chip
yo,
would be with Harden past his prime. Like, are y'all serious? Like,
yo,
let's
hold
really think
on.
about this. If the Clippers get this done and Kawhi balls
Nigga
out, because he's
Mel.
gonna have to ball out. Let's really think about what we're saying. Imagine seeing
Yo,
the Clippers holding a trophy and Kawhi is the Finals
That's
MVP.
that's
That's
gonna
not
be history with
surprising
mad
for
shit,
me
bro.
though. Yeah.
That's
yo,
gonna be mad
I must
shit, bro.
be in a movie like when the toys come alive and people like Michael Jackson must have jumped off the Thriller vinyl. Like, yo, hold on. Yo, so,
Let's
yo,
really
this
think
dude
of
said second
Nigga.
best small forward after LeBron.
no.
Sajero,
I'm talking
Ever
about
or you
active,
listen,
talk about
active.
in a
I'm talking
league?
about
listen to
active, active.
me.
I said active, active.
He said active.
Oh,
Active
He
guy,
said
active.
oh,
Not
oh, oh,
Larry Bird is still number
oh.
two. Larry's still number two.
Casagero,
Larry's still number two.
you lost me when you said that. I'm like, yo, he's
Larry's
wilding. Oh, I
come
must
out.
be in a bad movie.
Larry's still number two. But after Larry, Kawhi got something to
So
say
Kawhi
for
Nah,
Leonard
everybody.
is going to be
no,
better than Kevin Durant.
nah, not at all, bro. I don't even think Larry better than Kevin Durant, bro.
Nah,
I don't
KD more.
even think
No,
Larry better than KD, bro.
KD more talented,
Yo,
but
yo,
we at some
Taz,
point
you was
at
my dog,
come
Taz.
on.
Why you doing
Yes,
this?
Wait,
But
what
at
Why
some
you
Taz
point,
doing this?
say? What you say,
bro.
Taz?
I don't
He
think
said
that Larry is better than
hold
KD.
on. I hear,
you
bro.
said you don't think
I hear what you're saying.
Larry is better than KD?
Not at
But
all.
Oh yeah,
He had better
that's
teams than
true.
him, but
That's
I don't
true.
think I don't think Larry is better than KD.
uh,
He had way better teams than KD, bro.
KD had uh,
Even with the monsters that KD had on his team, bro.
We talking about
Larry had a way
Larry
more
Bird, right?
put together.
Yeah,
Larry
not
Yeah,
Bird,
he's
he had a
not
way
better
Larry
than
more.
Johnson, Larry Bird.
KD. He's not better than KD. No, no. No, Larry Bird not better than KD.
Not at all,
Come
bro.
out, come out, come
Not
out,
at
come out,
all.
come out, come out. We gotta frame this correctly. More talented and better is two different things. KD's more
What?
talented. At some point, KD's talent got to equate to more than just what he did with Golden
He's more
State.
talented and better than Larry Bird. Kevin Durant.
What
Yes.
bro,
He,
bro,
he is.
KD score better than Larry, and he defend better. After that, Larry
bro.
got everything else. Larry
What the
better
hell are we
rebounder, better
doing
passer,
right now?
better leader.
Yo,
He got
listen.
better, bro.
Yo,
That we can
listen,
save
y'all.
that
I
for
don't think
another
he's better.
discussion.
Yo,
We're gonna put, but I know
yo,
Opus gonna clip
little
that.
Penny came to life.
Opus gonna clip that. Larry Bird or Kevin Durant. Who is the better player?
Why?
Yo, little Penny
My
came
money
to
on
life
KD.
with the stuff. Y'all making him come to life. He dancing and all of that. Like,
I'm not gonna. I'm standing on that. If the
Yeah.
Clippers win it, and Kawhi, obviously that would mean Kawhi played great. He got to be top 20, bro.
top
Now,
20.
now,
I
now,
know
because there's
he's
a lot of
missing. I
people.
know
I'm
he's
jacking that.
missing. I know he's missing the MVPs, but that's because of injury. That's not because of play. If
But
we're talking
I'm
about,
jacking that
but
100%. Yeah.
but injuries is part of the game, and that is what's going to take Kawhi Leonard
uh,
automatically out the equation because the man can't stay
agreed, but
healthy. He can't stay on the court.
Top
think about that. The man can't stay healthy. He would have won 3 chips with 3 different teams.
top
That's that's
20. Wow.
that's I mean that's a nod to him. Like
Top
again, there's a
20.
lot of people
Wow.
that saying Clippers could win the championship if Kawhi stays healthy. A lot of people are
Hmm?
saying that, but is if Kawhi stays healthy, and that's the big
Big
asterisk
ifs.
over Kawhi Leonard's career. That's what hindered him from being again in a top 20 player. Even if he wins a chip with 3 different teams, nobody is going to consider Kawhi Leonard a top 20 player because he was not able to be on the court for lengthy
They
amount
gotta
of
be
times during his
realistic,
NBA
though, man.
career. So that's always going to be over his head. Always, always, always. And
Oh,
then when you look at the trips with Spurs, Tim Duncan was the man over there. Tim Duncan, Parker, Ginobili.
He won
It was
Finals
like
MVP though.
he was 1 year,
whoa.
one.
The one year that he
Top
won with the
20.
Spurs.
Yeah,
Whoa.
that 1 year he won.
Whoa.
But top 20, I wouldn't. Nah.
Whoa.
I mean, he's gonna be talked about
Whoa.
because if he wins this year with Clippers, he's
Whoa.
definitely gonna be talked about. But unfortunately, because he was not able to be on the
Whoa.
court for a lot of his career,
Yeah.
that's gonna automatically take him out.
Whoa.
But
I'm
that's
not.
a good topic of discussion. I ain't gonna front.
I don't know
But KD
Yo,
too
better
many
yo,
than
players that I would
Bird.
be that I'm
KD
gonna
better
want
than
to
Bird.
take,
yo.
bro.
Yeah, this is my response to that, man. Cause y'all really.
Whoa.
Bro, stupid.
Rest in peace, Black
Bro,
Rob. Rest
stupid.
in peace, Black Rob. Hey, so Jerry, are you sticking around for the what ifs?
Yeah, I stick around,
All
bro.
right. All right, Jamel, bring in the what ifs.
I had to play that because that was whoa. yo,
And
yo,
where you, so Jerry, where you at? If Opus clips this, they ain't gonna see your damn face.
You gotta give me a second. I'm getting dressed. I'm getting ready for the gym. You gotta give me a second.
yeah, you gotta give him a second because he said a lot of shit that was like whoa. He caught us like
Whoa.
he was like yo. I said some shit that was whoa. Yo, nigga said Kawhi top 20 with a ring. That's whoa. Yo, man, they need to do the remix and put me on it. Yo, man.
But to his point, if he does do that, I mean, he would be in the list with LeBron James winning chips or 3 different teams. So that would mean something for his legacy. Hey, bring in the what ifs, bro.
Bro, stupid, kid.
Yo,
So
it's just
so
whoa.
we know
Yo,
the
y'all gotta chill. Y'all gotta chill. Yo,
Mel's
yo.
stupid.
All right, man. Yo,
So
y'all got me dying for real. All right, yo.
so
All
what
right, we're gonna get into the what
ifs?
ifs. We're gonna get into the
Shout,
what ifs, y'all.
shout out
All right,
shout out to AJ 1K
yeah.
Twan on Instagram. My son, your nephew.
Yes,
What
sir.
ifs? Top 5
Yo.
what ifs in NBA history. What we got, Mel?
All right. So, matter of fact, before we even start the what ifs, man, when people start doing the crazy, you said, Jiro, you have just made it. You were the first person on the whoa segment. You're bugging. You're bugging. When you start thinking,
Hey, that gonna be the theme, right? You gotta have that queued up. When somebody say something that's whoa, you gotta be like, hold on,
Yo,
whoa. You gotta play the whoa
yo,
song.
that's whoa.
I'm about to
Cause
have
the Gerald, yo. All right, we're gonna get into the what ifs, man. Yo, the first what if, yo, in '98, what if they called the push off on Mike, man? In '98,
Bulls in 7. What was the
Yeah, Bulls
you
in
said Bulls
seven.
in
Even
7.
and that would have been the first
Bulls in
time
7,
Mike go to a game 7 in the
Uh,
finals. Uh
I ain't
huh.
gonna
Bulls in
lie,
7.
I ain't gonna lie. If that series went 7, I think the Jazz win.
Utah in 7.
Scotty was
Scotty,
bent
dumbass
up.
Pippen,
The whole
who
team
hates
looked
Mike.
done.
Yo, Pippen, my back, my back. He's out here bugging in game 6. I'm looking at I rewatched that game because Scotty was hating on Mike so much. And I'm looking at the screen like, this is the dude hating on Mike? Yo, my back, oh, my back.
One of
Yo, the
you
whole
teams ran
game.
across like 3 chairs, right? Crying.
Yo, Pippen,
Nah, I still
if
say
that series went
Bulls.
7 year, Utah 7.
What you said, Taz?
Bulls in 7, bro. Like granted, Pippen was being a little bitch, son. Jordan wasn't gonna let that shit happen. It's not. Mike was not gonna let it happen, bro. He's not gonna let them lose. I don't care what Malone would have tried to do with Stockton, Hornacek. What's the other dude name? Brian Russell.
Yeah.
Brian
Brian
Russell.
Russell.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
the
don't
one that
care. I
got
don't.
pushed.
That's why he pushed, right? Yeah. I
Mm-hmm.
don't care what none of them would have tried to do, bro. Jordan wasn't letting that shit happen, bro.
Okay.
He wasn't.
A game
Neither
7
was
in
Steph.
Chicago.
No,
Nah,
A game
Nah,
it was
seven.
it
Utah.
would have been
they were playing in
Utah.
Oh
Utah.
yeah,
It would have
Back
been
then it was in
Utah.
Utah. They
Utah.
had the better record. Yeah.
Uh huh.
No, that was
No,
game.
It would.
No,
that
Chicago.
was game
No,
It,
6. Nah,
it
that
would
was
have been
that
in
was
in
game.
Utah.
'98,
It,
Utah had the better
Oh,
record,
okay,
bro.
okay,
Cause remember it was
okay.
that was back when it's 2-3-2.
yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I
two
missed
three two.
that
I forgot that
format.
format. Yeah. I'm going with Taz. Bulls in 7. There's no way. Even though that had been unprecedented, presidented Tory. I mean territory. Unprecedented. What the fuck I'm trying to say? But you know what I'm trying to say.
Unprecedented territory.
Jordan not used
Yeah.
to that shit, bro.
Yeah, for Mike, there's no way you ain't gonna go against Mike in the game
Not
7
yeah.
for NBA chip. Nah, we're not gonna go against Mike. We're not gonna act like Mike ain't gonna be Mike, you know. But it was a push off. It was a push off. We all know it was a push off. You know, Mike tried to say his momentum carried him
I feel like
over.
it was a guide. I don't really feel like it was a push. I feel like one of those when you trying to assist a girl past the door type shit. I don't really feel like it was a
So
push.
Gerald, stop trying to be fucking politically
I
correct here, okay?
really don't think it was a push. It just felt like a guide.
That wasn't
Yo,
yeah, he got it
if
with a
he
push.
dies,
Fuck up out of
he
here.
dies,
He
man.
snatched you.
He said if he dies, he dies.
He dies, man. You gotta push. Go in the weight room, man.
I feel he was
That's
gonna
it.
get crossed regardless, though, bro. He was gonna get hit with something regardless, and Jordan's gonna have a little bit of space, whether he pushed off or not.
Yeah,
Facts.
Jordan definitely
Mike
hit
in
him with a
game
little
7.
move.
I'm not going against Mike in game 7.
That's fair.
Nah.
All right.
Wait, we didn't get to what was your take, Gerald? If it wasn't a push
I,
off?
I, I think you talk. Just because I think the Bulls was dead, son. Like when you go back and watch the Last Dance, they look dead. Like if they didn't get out of that game alive, they look dead for the next one.
Yeah,
Mike scored 45 out of their 87 points.
yeah.
That's more than half.
He was gonna do it again.
And Mike would have had 50 in game 7.
Exactly. He was
All right.
gonna do the same shit again, bro.
But
So
that's
we
that's a
split on
great
that.
what if though.
We split on that. Okay. I think Sajuro definitely would like this one. The next one. What if? Don't Sajuro. I will put the woe on. Okay. All right. Yo, 2008. Yo. What if the Lakers didn't trade for Pau Gasol? So you
Oh
start
man,
this off, Sajuro, Laker fan. You start this off.
nah, we wouldn't be what we was if they don't trade for. If they don't trade for, I don't think Kobe. Kobe probably don't get another one, huh? We
My boy kept
was
it 1,000. I like
we
that.
was average. We was at Pau Gasol. He don't get enough credit, son. He changed life. We went to 3 straight finals right after that trade. 2 chips in a row.
Yes.
One more chip from a dynasty. That shit was dangerous. They won 65 games, 57. They ran the West when the West was the Wild Wild West. They was dominant once they got Pau. That shit changed life.
I mean,
My boy made it
even
up.
Kobe said it. Kobe said he don't win the other rings without Powell. He said it.
Unless they went and got somebody else, but Garnett was already with the Celtics. Amari Stoudemire wasn't coming there. There wasn't much out there. If they don't get him, Kobe might be sitting on 3 still.
Yeah, I agree.
That's how
I
you make
definitely
it up.
agree.
Man, that's how you make it up for being on wool, man. I like that.
But
I like
Lakers
that.
was in so much need because Brian was like, "Yo, I'm out of here if y'all don't get me nobody."
Yeah, Kobe
He
even
said it.
said that too.
He's
Yeah,
about to go to
Kobe like,
Chicago. He's like, "Yo, I'm going to play in Mike's hometown if y'all don't fucking get somebody over here." I would have loved to see that though. Kobe in a Bulls uniform, that would have been
Nah,
nuts.
that would have
That would
been
have
too much of
been
the
nasty.
copycat shit.
That would have been disgusting, bro.
Nah, I would have
That would
loved
have
to
been
see
completely
that as a Kobe
awful.
fan. I would have loved to see that.
I ain't
And a
gonna
Mike
lie,
fan.
that would have been copying Mike too much.
Bro,
That
bro,
Bro,
you are the next contestant. You made it. You made it. You made it.
y'all heard KG said he was supposed to go to the Lakers in
Yeah,
'07.
yeah,
I
he did. I saw a
heard him say
report
that
about
shit.
that.
That would
Yep.
have been
Yeah, he
hard.
talked
Yo,
about it on his pod.
That would have
Yeah.
been
Yeah,
hard.
didn't
him and Kobe. Yeah, that'd have been crazy.
didn't Gasol get traded for the other Gasol brother?
Yeah.
Yeah, for Memphis.
So
Yeah.
when did he start getting nice? How
Who?
long it took
Mark,
him? Like 2 years,
it took
right?
Mark
Yeah,
a
Or
couple.
probably like 2 years
Yeah.
after that he started balling.
I think they would have been alright, bro. I honestly think they would have been alright, bro. If they kept him, if they had him and Bynum as the twin tower, not as the low budget twin towers on their
Yeah,
team, bro,
yeah.
they would have been
I just
alright,
think I
bro.
don't think Kobe would have had the patience to wait to watch him get like
Yeah,
developed. Kobe needed somebody right then and
right then
there.
and there. Yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't think Kobe would have had the patience to wait for him to develop. That's the only thing.
I don't. I like. All right, so put it in the future where Kobe was like, you know what, fuck it, this is my team. I'm sticking with the Lakers because I know I don't want it. This nigga, I don't think he ever would have left the Lakers, honestly, bro. Regardless of what he was saying, I don't think he really would have left the Lakers because he's born and raised there. They got such a legacy, bro. You going where he was about to go to yes, said Chicago. Wasn't there another team he was supposed to be going to besides
At one
Chicago?
point, they talked about the Clippers real quick. I don't
Yeah,
think that
The
was serious.
Clippers,
yeah. I think Chicago was like the team he was
the
like
team.
talking
Yeah,
about. He
Here's
about to
my
go over there.
here's
I
my
don't think
only
he was actually leaving, no
here's my
man.
only reason I think he honestly might have left because his desire to show he can win without Shaq was
So,
so
yep.
deep. At
Mm-hmm.
some point, he would have said, "Nah, I'm not. There's no way I'm gonna
See,
just be stuck here and people gonna be holding over my head. I never won without Shaq."
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, even after he won his fifth, first thing he said to the reporters, "I got
One
more than
above
Shaq
Shaq.
now." Like he immediately said that. Like that was burning in his soul that I have to prove
Mm-hmm.
that he could win without Shaq.
Because keep in mind, Shaq won his fourth before Kobe won his third.
Yeah,
His fourth.
Shaq won that joint in Miami.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
facts. Yeah, he definitely did.
Yeah.
So Kobe was tight.
Oh,
Kobe was like, this motherfucker.
Yeah. All
This
right.
motherfucker.
All right. All right. So the next one is in 2013. What if Tim Duncan was on the floor for Miami's last possession in Game 6?
shit.
LeBron legacy would be extra trash.
I don't think LeBron
Extra
legacy
trash.
was trash to begin with, bro. But if he was on the floor, I feel like, if, yeah, they probably would have lost that one.
I think.
They was down 3-2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a series right there.
Yeah,
One
down.
a
And
rebound away.
that's when Ray Allen hit that corner
Hit that three.
the
Yep.
three.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Tim Duncan probably would have prevented Chris Bosh from tapping his shit out,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
yeah, that would have been a definite.
Possibility. I don't know. I don't know, bro.
I don't even
I
know
I
why
think
he
think
took
shit still
Tim
play
Duncan
out.
out the game anyway.
That
Yeah.
was
I think the
retarded. That was
Heat lose
retarded.
that series, but then they come back the next year and win it.
Think
Yeah,
so?
You said who?
I believe that right there.
He
What
said
he
the
said?
Heat would have lost and then came back the next year and won it.
Because that would have been
Mm,
two in a row that they lost in the finals when they were supposed to win,
Yeah.
not four, not five, right?
Yeah.
That would have been two straight that they would have came back and won that next one, bro. Won the next year.
mm,
That
What they
20,
went to
I,
three
I
straight
don't.
that
finals?
2014.
I don't think so. Cause look what Spurs did to them the year right after that.
Actually, you know what? I can't even say that because D Wade's injury started really getting crazy right after that
Real
finals.
crazy.
They
Real
might have been
crazy.
stuck. They might have been stuck.
I just
It
think
would have been
that
clipped for
was
Miami.
a a legacy mark with LeBron, right?
Yeah.
Because Ray Allen, I mean, like I said this before. LeBron better be sending Ray Allen roses every anniversary date of that
Hold up.
shot.
How come for every other great player when their star player hits a shot, That's what they're supposed to do. But for LeBron, we make it like a bad thing on him. Like,
Because
why
it's
we do that?
LeBron. Because he puts this on himself. LeBron puts all the criticism on
Yeah.
himself.
This is
He
Stephen
also
A.
said
This is
it.
Stephen A's
LeBron also
cousin.
say he's a passer, though, bro.
Huh?
LeBron
When
also
Derek,
said it
when Derek,
himself that he's a
when
passer, not the scorer.
when Derek
He
Fisher
got the most
hit all
points,
them
but
big
he's a
shots,
passer.
Robert Horry hit all them big shots, Steve Kerr hit all them big shots. We just say that's part of a great team. When LeBron's teammates hit big shots, we make it a bad thing about LeBron. Like I
And
don't get
LeBron
that.
got saved, right?
But
Yeah.
Yes, he got saved. Yes.
Yo,
He absolutely
so
got
remember
saved.
that's Stephen A. cousin, y'all.
Robert Horry
He ain't
saved the
giving LeBron
Lakers.
no break.
Say who?
So Robert Horry saved the Lakers when he hit that shot in Game 5 against the Kings.
Absolutely. Yes.
No, no,
I
no,
Yes.
normally don't
no,
believe in
no,
that.
no. Yo, Sajiro, that was game 4 or 3, and your
Four.
Lakers cheated. So we're gonna leave that one alone.
Against the Kings, right? Yeah, they
We're gonna leave that
definitely
one
cheated, bro.
alone.
Well, that was
Because
documented. That was
Mike
documented.
Bibby had foot to Kobe ass and everybody ass. So we're gonna chill. Yo, on
No,
that note, we go to the next one.
but you got to understand. You got to understand the impact of that shot. Remember, Tracy McGrady was on that Spurs team. They
Yeah,
had they had the ropes lined up. They was rolling out the trophy.
yeah,
Tracy McGrady looking over there like, look at this shit. Oh, kick that railing for three. Them niggas roll the shit back in there.
yeah. That
I
was
was
funny.
like,
That
yo,
was crazy. That was
that was
crazy.
the
That was crazy.
funniest shit ever,
Yo,
bro.
That was
that's
crazy.
crazy, bro.
That was nasty
That's
work.
crazy.
They had the trophy right there. Nigga Tracy McGrady looking at the trophy over there smiling like, oh
Yeah,
yeah.
it was too
That
hype.
nigga Ray
It was too
was
hype.
That's
a legacy.
hilarious.
That was a legacy factor for LeBron because yo,
That is hilarious.
if Ray Allen don't hit that
Yo,
shot,
bro.
bro, god damn, that's oh my god, that was like
That's my
that.
dog, Tracy. He
Yo,
would
yeah,
have
Tracy McGrady,
probably
yo,
got his
y'all got to
shit,
go
bro.
back and look at it. I be going back and looking at that shit.
I
They
got to,
rolling
bro.
out the trophy.
I don't know how I didn't see that shit, bro. That's hilarious.
Yo,
Shit.
Boy,
That shit got me
T-Mac was
crying right
cheesing.
now.
He was
yo,
cheesing.
T Mac was over there cheesing like, oh, I'm about to get a sneaky ring. He was all linked up on arms, and I'm like, yeah, cheesing. That nigga Ray Allen hit that three. They roll that shit back.
Filthy.
That was
Yeah,
filthy,
That's
that's
bro.
wild.
filthy
That's
work,
wild.
bro.
That so just the impact of that shot, I say LeBron better get his nigga Ray Allen flowers every anniversary date of that shot. Cause that was a big
But the
fucking
Heat still
shot.
had to come back and win Game 7,
They
and LeBron went for
Yeah.
they did.
LeBron went for
But that was a
37 as
series.
well.
That was a series saving shot. He missed that shot. Spurs win the chip. They out of here. He missed that shot. Spurs win the chip. And Tracy McGrady has a ring.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Crazy.
So like the next one, what if Draymond Green didn't swipe at LeBron? I'm gonna start this one.
Okay.
Let me make sure the glasses is good. All right. You know what I mean? I got the fresh cut too, y'all. Y'all see me. All right. Yo, all
Jones.
right, man. Shoot.
Jones.
All right. Nah, for real. Draymond, we gotta chill. See, because when Draymond and them talk about this, I be ready to play whoa. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. Draymond Green swiped at LeBron, right? And he got ejected. We talk about Draymond Green like he's Steph Curry or Klay Thompson at that time. Listen, Kyrie Irving, LeBron James went, and Sajiro, no, they went straight Mike Myers, Jason
That's a fact, bro.
Voorhees. Draymond Green was not stopping that.
No,
He's
I
no,
don't
he would
think so at
have been
all,
another
man.
victim, another casualty, head slice off. On to the next. Like Draymond Green's not stopping that. They talking like, yo, if he didn't swipe LeBron, they would have. No, they lost the game or whatever, and they went to the crib, LeBron and Kyrie, and it was like, yo, listen, we got this, and they getting 40 pieces like
I was about to
nothing.
say, bro. 40-40,
Draymond
right?
Green is not stopping that. And to the next point, he had 30 something in game 7. And guess what happened? L,
Cook session.
right?
I ain't
Cook
gonna
So
front.
session.
you score,
Draymond was wilding in
he
game
was
7. He
wilding
didn't
and
win
lost.
He went finals
He
And they
needed to do that
lost.
though.
And
He
they
had to do
lost.
that. He had to make up for what he did.
And they
And
lost.
he
So
still
it's
caught the
like
L.
he would have said, yo, if he didn't do this to LeBron, he had 30 something and they lost. You know what happened?
That's a fact.
Curry was getting that ass cooked by Kyrie. How about Curry? How about you make a shot? Make a shot in the fourth quarter, right? That's my thing. They put so much emphasis on Draymond. Draymond, you defend. You're not stopping LeBron or Kyrie. They went into next level. What is Draymond Green doing with any of that but getting chopped up?
And you know what's crazy? They knew that shit too, so they had to go out and get Kevin Durant, bro.
Yeah.
They knew it was
Like,
never gonna be a fair game again.
Yeah.
It was never gonna be fair again. But if they kept fucking Harrison Barnes,
Yeah.
Cavs was
Like,
cooking them the next 2
yo,
seasons. The next when they played 2 more
Yeah.
playoffs, they was cooking them the
yeah,
next couple
like,
ones, bro.
y'all know,
They was
like,
cooking them, both of them.
I
you know,
agree with
when you
that.
go to the bodega and they slicing the meat and they put it on the sandwich, Draymond Green is another slice on the sandwich. Get out of here. Like, yo, he would have, if he would have played, I get tired of it. Because it's like, if he would have played, you getting cooked. Next.
I mean,
Yo,
you gotta.
Klay Thompson was an all defender, right? What happened? Cooked. You know where Klay Thompson wasn't? He wasn't on. It was so bad. Steph Curry and them was on Kyrie in the final minute. Where's Klay Thompson and Draymond? They're all defenders because they be getting cooked. So they was nowhere to be found. Cooked.
I just think
You
that.
can't do anything with Kyrie though, bro.
Yeah, can't do anything with Kyrie.
Nobody's doing nothing with Kyrie. Not Scottie Pippen, not Bill Russell, not no one.
Nobody on earth.
Nobody doing nothing with Kyrie. No, nothing.
Mel already know how I feel about Kyrie.
Kyrie is killing everybody, son. Thank you, Ant. He wasn't stopping Kyrie and bro.
Yo, Ed,
Draymond.
what up, Ed?
My guy.
I just think that. I mean, if you look at that was the '73 Warriors team, right? I just think it was an impact because if you look at it, they went up 3-1 after they still won the game. They was up 3-1, so they had they had all the momentum riding with them, right? So we're not going to act like Draymond, even though Draymond he ain't no scoring person, but he's an intricate part of how the Warriors move at that time and still is because
he was big homie on the team.
He was,
and once big homie was there,
he was an intricate part. You know, maybe that losing him for Game 5 because Game 5 went back to what? Did it go back to Cleveland? Because that was the
Game 5 went back to the Bay.
To the Bay.
Yeah, to the Bay.
Oh yeah,
to the Bay.
And
So that was that pivotal Game 5. Without Draymond, they kind of point forward in that how they mix that whole rotation, how they run the game. Yeah, it was a blow. It was a blow for Golden State missing him that game. It was.
See
it
what
was a
happened
blow.
to them in Game 5?
It was a blow.
The double 40 piece. That was a horror scene. They combined, they combined Friday the 13th, Halloween, and Freddy Nightmare on Elm Street. They combined all of them and made a movie. That was a bloody massacre scene. Draymond was doing nothing with that.
I just think it was a momentum killer for the Dubs because they had all the momentum. They was up 3-1. That was a closeout game for them in the Dubs. They didn't have Draymond. I'm not gonna say it was a huge factor because Draymond. You know how I feel about Draymond and again shit. But it was
Mr. Laird. Mr. Laird, by the way.
It was a factor. It was a factor. But Taz and Sajid, what y'all think?
Man, I don't think there was anything they was gonna be able to do at all. Kyrie is the absolute best one-on-one basketball player that has ever graced this earth, bro. The absolute best, probably basketball player himself that ever graced this earth. And he showed that shit that day. And Braun was being the Braun that everybody wanted him to be, bro. That he needed to be. No matter what Draymond would have tried to do, bro. No matter what Draymond would have wanted to do. No matter what the Warriors wanted to do, bro. There's absolutely nothing they could do with it. Like, it was destined for them, and I'm use this word again, destiny, bro. They were supposed to win that game, bro. Y'all was up 3-1, bro. Y'all was supposed to finish that shit.
Yeah.
But whether Draymond was out the game or not, y'all was supposed to finish that shit, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't. and that's on them, bro. There's nothing they would have been able to do with that shit, bro. Nothing at all. That's
It
how I
don't
feel
mean a
about. I
thing
don't think
if you
it make a
don't win the
difference.
ring.
That's 100%
Don't mean
Yeah.
a thing if you
fact,
don't
bro.
win the
Yo,
ring.
That's
and
fact, sir.
Sajiro, what you got to say? Don't end up on the wall. Cause
So
I
I
got it
think
locked and key.
That was
I
stupid.
think honestly, bro, I think it was a momentum killer. I don't know that the Warriors definitely win Game 5, but I definitely don't think Kyrie and LeBron just go crazy like that on them the way they
It was a
did. So I
momentum killer. Yeah.
so what's it called?
If
But
Braun didn't do it, Kyrie would have did it.
yeah, but honestly, I think it was a blessing in disguise because they wound up losing that series. Then they got
Yeah.
KD. If they won that finals, they don't get KD.
That's facts.
So it's a fake blessing in disguise.
That's fact. Because if you look at it, Braun, he was
Man,
just
that was
a nightmare matchup for the
for
Dubs. Like nobody.
everybody, for anybody in the NBA still at that point,
So
bro.
what they do?
Besides Kawhi.
They go get Kevin Durant and he sweep them boys. Get him out of here. Because
That's
Durant,
Crazy,
that was
man.
cheating. That
yeah,
was
OD
you.
cheating, bro.
That
That
was
shit was like,
cheating,
yeah,
bro.
I
You
can't do
put
that shit, bro.
KD, Steph, and Clay
Nigga
with
say, you know what? Let's
Draymond,
get
and
the second best player in the NBA on our team,
bruh,
bro. On a
that
73-9 team, bro.
that that
Let's go
was
do
that,
that.
Had a
that was
league
cheating,
MVP.
bro.
All right.
but you can't, and I hate the way they did KD. Right? They was like, oh, he went to the Dubs. The same thing Braun did. Braun was a free agent. If you're a free agent, you could go anywhere the fuck you want to go. So why
And they gonna play
they
with Dwayne Wade.
Nah,
yeah, don't hate on
but
KD because he went over there and
But
got his chip. Same thing Braun did.
KD went to the team that literally just beat him, and he was up 3-1 on them. That's what made it funny.
Facts.
People be forgetting,
So
like
That is true.
people be forgetting the Thunder was up 3-1 in the Western
they
Conference Finals
was,
against them.
Facts.
they
That's
Yeah,
what
was,
don't
made
even let
but
me get
he
on your boy.
but he
that's
Mr.
left.
what
Better
made
than Larry Bird.
He
Mr. Better
that's
than Larry
what
he
made
Bird.
is he
that's
is better
what
Mr.
Larry
Better
made
than
Bird.
it
Larry
Still,
Bird.
He better
but
Larry
he's
Bird.
still better than
He is
Larry,
better
bro.
Larry Bird. He better Larry
100%.
Bird. He is Larry Bird.
Yo,
But
he's more
I,
talented, but
yo,
I'm KD at a point where I can't keep calling him better than people when he don't be doing shit,
don't
but just
be
getting his
doing
numbers.
nothing.
He get
Doing
his
nothing.
numbers, but he don't
Nothing.
like who he making better.
Doing nothing.
y'all
Like I don't know.
gotta be
He's
y'all
a
gotta
weird.
yo chill on KD now.
I
Chill on
love KD
KD.
Yo,
though. He's
listen.
amazing.
KD's that
Listen.
nigga, bro.
Kevin Durant is with, he's just like all four of us in this video. He's in the crib about to watch the play-in.
He was injured though when it was time for them to do what they had to do, bro. He hurt his ankle. He
And
couldn't
that, and
play.
he's gonna be in the crib still nursing it. In the crib. In the crib.
Yeah, bro.
Yo,
KD's that nigga no matter how anybody feel, bro.
yo,
KD's definitely
KD.
one of them ones.
he
100%.
he
100%.
one of them ones, and he one of them ones in the crib.
He's just not.
Listen, we're not
Like,
gonna disrespect KD. We all know KD.
exactly,
That
eh? He been on 4 big threes. Like, it's he one of the most big threes ever. So, it's Durant. Brooklyn, Phoenix, everywhere. Big
Yo,
three. Yo,
but you can't
listen.
even call both of like he didn't have Harden the whole time. He for majority of the time he was there. They record was 13-3. That time being a big three together, bro. That means
Yo,
Harden
yeah,
was
that
never
wasn't
playing, bro.
even that wasn't
Or
a
Kyrie
fair
was
big
never
three.
playing. And then
all
Bradley
right,
Beal
all right,
never
all
ever played,
right.
bro.
You
Yeah,
making
Never
excuses for
ever
this
played.
boy? Making excuses. It's all right, though.
It's
Yo,
not
Durant,
excuses, bro. It's
yeah.
Durant,
fact.
listen. Yo, KD, I know you cool, Moro. You might even tapped in. Listen, man. If you see this, man, we're gonna enjoy the play-in, my brother. All right, we're gonna enjoy it. We in the crib. All right. Yo, we gonna go to the last one.
All right.
Yo,
To get on that
2019. What if the 76ers kept Jimmy Butler? Jimmy Buckets. Talk to me. That's the last what if.
Yeah,
Let's close it
Mm.
out.
it's coming soon, huh?
I think
2019 if they kept
Could be.
they good.
I hear you.
Who gonna take this one first?
All right, cool. We'll
I
check. We'll
mean,
check.
all right. Let me take it
I
first.
thought
I
maybe.
spit some balls for y'all,
Yeah,
man.
man.
I
What
spit
was the
some balls
question
for
again?
y'all,
I'm
man.
sorry, I missed it. What was the
What
question?
You
if
good? What if the 76ers kept Jimmy Butler in 2019? So I'm gonna start it like this, man. They definitely like if we could rewind back. I'm not even playing that first beginning. I'm playing the whole Wolves song for them. The whole song on repeat, like 10 times. You have Jimmy Butler, and you don't re-sign him, and you Tobias, and then he had
Tobias
issues
Harris
with
or
Ben Simmons. I'm hearing that it was more of a Ben Simmons thing, but you keep Jimmy Butler, man, and you pay him that money, and we'll see if him and Ben Simmons and Embiid could get something done, even if you don't resign Tobias. But 76ers was so talented because they had J.J. Redick. They had so many guys. That was a championship
It
team.
But
was.
they
You
had Danny
lose Jimmy.
Green too, right?
Yeah, it was bad, man. Them not keeping Jimmy Butler, honestly, that was their last chance to salvage anything. Now they just try anything here on out. Like they try to get Paul George, get fleeced. You know, they give
They got
Maxey all
fleeced.
his bread, like he AI. Like,
Maxi that nigga though, bro.
nah.
You can't don't count
I
Maxi
want to
out,
see
bro. Maxi
Maxey
that nigga.
live. I want to see Maxey live. You know what he did? You know what he did?
Nothing.
He proved me right. He proved me right. I had Woe on repeat. Let me tell
Nigga
you
said
why.
on repeat
On repeat. I'm
that.
gonna tell you why. We was live. They was playing Kevin Durant and the Phoenix Suns. Right? Yo, this dude, Maxey, first of all, he could play. Don't get me wrong, but he want to go to the rack and do all this crazy dumb stuff and just be throwing a rock. And then my man shot 25 threes.
Nah.
What
That's
he
That game,
doing?
that one
That's
game,
whoa.
that
Yo, he
one game
was
shot that.
pulling
How many
so
he
many
hit?
threes. Yo, if he, all right, let's say I exaggerated. And I said 25. Let's say he took 18 threes.
So like
All right.
18.
Yo, that motherfucker made maybe 5.
God damn, bro.
It was
That's
bad. Like, it was to the point where it was
that's
like,
nasty work, bro.
yo, I'm like, what is he doing? Like, he got paid a lot of money because they had to pay him, but he ain't really that guy, man.
Yeah, he not that
They
guy.
just giving money out. They
Yeah.
giving the Sixers is giving bread out. Allen Iverson is gone. So just because somebody had braids, don't pay them bread because they got braids.
Nigga said
Feel
somebody
me?
got
'Cause
braids,
you got braids and you come through, it ain't the answer.
I
Hold
think
the money. Hold the
when
wallet.
when you look at that Butler situation, right, you got to look at what he did after he left Philadelphia. He took Miami to 2 finals appearances in what,
Yes.
5 years? You know, so
In
just
the conference
imagine,
finals, though,
huh?
that they lost in, remember, in a game 7. If he didn't go for a 3, maybe they go to the finals 3 times.
Maybe, right? So you got to look
Yeah.
at that. And that's Jimmy Butler. Essentially, Jimmy Buckets took that Miami team to those
Yeah.
finals appearances. So just
but you
imagine,
gotta think
him
about the
with,
coach though, bro.
huh?
You gotta think about who they had, who was leading them, the coach, bro. Spoelstra was a way better coach. Who they had, fucking that was who was their coach?
The
Who,
Sixers
Sixers?
coach?
Yeah, the Sixers coach back then. I
I
don't
don't know
even
the fuck Sixers
think
was.
anybody knows, bro. It was before whoever it was before Nick. It was Doc Rivers, right? Was it
No, I
Doc?
don't think
Well,
Doc was
no.
coaching him.
Not when they had Jimmy. I think
Not when they had Jimmy,
was it
Douglas, or
was it
fucking
Brett
not Douglas.
Brown?
It
Was
might
it
have
who
been
was
Brett
it?
Brown, bro. Might have been Brett Brown.
Yeah.
But you go to the Miami Heat, who got Eric Spoelstra, but don't got the same supporting cast.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the difference, bro. That's
Yeah.
because they were supposed to get past Kawhi and the Raptors, bro. Like, granted,
Yeah.
Kawhi is who he is. They were supposed to
He
get
made a
past
tough
him, bro.
shot. Yeah.
Last shot or not, bro. It was supposed to be a different story, bro. Especially
Yeah.
if you got a nigga like Embiid, bro. If you have Embiid, it's a
Yeah.
completely different story, bro. I don't care
Yeah.
about Kawhi. I don't care about Van Vliet. I don't care about OJ. I don't even care about Kyle Lowry, bro. If you have Embiid and Jimmy Butler, you're supposed to get past that shit, bro. So
Fact.
I think them giving him up, I don't think that it put them way back, bro. Like that shit dropped them backwards. They went completely backwards with that shit. But I think with the team and the coaching and like you said, they was out of order. The fucking they wasn't clicking. I don't think it would have made a difference,
Yeah.
I
I
mean, they
think
was
I think they still would have been
guaranteed
on
that team. That's guaranteed at least one finals appearance. One.
Yeah.
That team.
that was supposed to be
Yeah.
their year, bro.
That was one final. But then again, that attests to the greatness of Kawhi Leonard, right? Because look who made the shot to send him to get him out of here. Kawhi
Top
Leonard.
20.
You know, so that just shows the greatness of Kawhi Leonard at that particular time too. What he said?
He said
Yeah,
top
fuck what
20.
I said. Top 20.
Oh, he's stupid.
No,
Who that?
yeah,
Oh,
Kawhi that nigga, man.
oh, what happened? Shajero gone?
I think 'cause he was in the gym. I think his connection might have been jacked up.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I think they get at least to one finals with that squad. Him, Ben Simmons, Tobias Harris, Joel Embiid, that's a four-headed monster right there. They get to at least one finals
If
with
they
that squad, at least
made
one.
it that year,
I'm
they
here.
would
I'm
have
here.
been.
I'm here.
They would have won that
Alright.
shit too.
Huh?
With Clay and if they got it, if they made it that year, they would have won that final too. With Clay and KD out, they definitely would have
Yeah,
won that
that
championship,
was
bro. That was their chance.
whoever played
The
the
Warriors that
Golden
year.
State during that time on the East would have won. You have no Clay, no KD. That's a walkthrough right there. No disrespect to Steph, but Steph couldn't do it by himself. He needs somebody to offset him a little bit. He was just Steph. Yeah. So
Remember, Clay got injured in Game 6 though, so he was there.
yeah, he was there, but that remember the dynamic was around KD being there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, even though it goes back to the original Splash Brothers, but they had to change their whole game plan around for KD. You know,
Yeah.
because like that was a matchup we lost. KD versus Kawhi. Ooh, that was a matchup we lost.
Yeah.
We lost that matchup.
Twice.
Yeah,
Yeah, I fuck with KD, but Kawhi would have put the
that
clamps on him, bro.
that would have been tough for KD. That would
Or
have
he
been
would have
tough for
tried to put the
KD.
clamps on him. He would have made him
Yeah.
average 25 instead of
That's
35,
facts.
Yeah.
basically.
That's
Yeah.
fact.
Why is
You
different?
got to take on that, Sajiro?
Uh, I don't got nothing to say really positive about the Sixers because I've never believed in Ben Simmons or Joel Embiid. I don't
Okay.
think Embiid is mature enough to win a championship, and Ben Simmons is too much of a liability. So even if they get past the Raptors, I do not guarantee they beat the Bucks, and I can't guarantee they beat the Warriors. I just don't trust
Okay.
Embiid as a player. Like, he got all the talent in the world, but sometimes I just feel like he wanders. And Ben
Mhm.
Simmons
Okay.
is a liability, and there would have been a coach that would have used him against them.
Ben
So I
Simmons gonna win a chip
don't know.
this year. Ben
But
Simmons
Possibility.
MVP.
Jimmy Butler is official, though. But the rest of them guys is goofy, as we can
Okay.
see right now. Look at them.
Okay.
Right. I just think that if you had a guy like Jimmy Butler on your team, he would have manned them up over there. Cause Jimmy Butler, he ain't for shits. You know, you ain't gonna play on a team with Jimmy Butler and
You're
do
going to
all
see
that shit
tonight.
that
What y'all
Embiid and
think Jimmy
doing.
going to do tonight? He going to show up and show out, or he just going to be a regular
Who
guy?
Jimmy?
Show up and show out, bro.
Yeah.
Jimmy gonna show up and show out tonight.
Yeah.
Playoff Jimmy's a completely
Yeah.
different player than
Yeah, he gonna
regular
show up
season Jimmy.
and show up
Absolutely.
tonight.
He's like Hoodie Mello, but
Alright.
not Hoodie
Yeah.
Y'all
Mello.
think,
But
I
he's
ain't
like
gonna
Hoodie
lie.
Mello in the playoffs, bro.
all right, so
Draymond
y'all think
Green.
Jimmy's still in there?
Yeah, Draymond
Huh?
Green better hope Jimmy Butler show out. If not, whoa.
Whoa.
Yeah.
But that was all we had today, y'all.
Hey man, great episode, guys. Episode 6 in the books.
Yeah,
Shout out to my
man. Shout
man
out to the
Taz.
bro. Taz
Shout out to my man
popping
Taz
in.
for
Ready?
chiming in.
Gerald popping in.
Yo, Taz,
Yes.
nice to meet you, brother. Good shit,
Same
man.
here, Brody.
Absolutely.
Taz, man, I see you like dinosaur years, man. You
It's been
old now,
years, yeah.
fool.
You know, last time I saw you, bro, was
Yeah.
at your bachelor party, bro. That's the last time I
Wait,
saw you, bro.
the
We gotta
bachelor
leave.
party?
Yeah, we gotta leave that at that,
Gonna leave that. We gonna leave that at that. That
Yeah.
was a good
bro.
time. That was a good
It
time.
definitely was,
Good
bro.
times,
That shit
man.
definitely was.
Word. Word.
Already. But you know, man, your boy CL McLean.
Your boy Melly Mel.
Come on, guys.
Sedge in the
Boy
building.
Taz. Hey.
Episode 6, 2 cents of the podcast. We out, niggas.
All
Next
right,
week,
y'all.
we got my man Aunt Merrill back on as a guest next week. He said he want to chime in every other week. So we're going to have Aunt
Yeah.
Merrill on next week,
All right,
chiming it
all
up
right,
with
bet.
us.
Good shit,
Already.
All right.
fellas.
All
All
right,
right.
y'all. Yeah.